Anthony, we are now on part 2 of our series about FATCA. We started with what the heck is FATCA with some basic information so people have a good starting point, sort of start to wrap your head around it because it's a bit onerous. I'll say it nicely. So we're trying to get a lot of information out. Today we want to talk about why FATCA is so annoying. There's a lot of things about it that are just downright stupid. Now, first, I would say if you're going to Google FATCA, make sure you have the correct acronym. God bless the U.S. government and their acronyms. There's also the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act.
Which is the FATCA.
But we're talking about FATCA. So
that sounds vulgar.
It really does. We are talking not about that. We're talking about the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, not the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act. Okay, first thing that's dumb. The U.S. estimates that it will take taxpayers about 5 hours to fill out reporting Form 8938, and I would guess that's a pretty gross underestimate.
For most people, right. And as soon as you get, because of, geez, how do I start this? 5 hours is an underestimates the time because when you have something that is in something overseas, it's not quite like a U.S. product.
Yes.
You know, Form 89 is basically your FATCA filing form for individuals. That's basically it. Now, some things, and here's the other thing too, is what goes on it and what doesn't go on it. Okay, because there's a whole bunch of things that don't go on it. In order to clear up the air and not make the reporting requirements so onerous, the IRS removes duplicative reporting requirements. So if you have a controlled foreign corporation and there's a Form 5471, you don't have to put that Form 5471 information on the 8938, but you do have to mention that there is a 5471. Same thing with foreign partnerships. Mm-hmm. Same things with your passive foreign investment companies, your PFICs. This is where it gets confusing because you're reading like, well, yeah, you don't have to report it twice. We wouldn't want you to do that because, I mean, that's ridiculous. Even though so many of the things are reported twice on an 8938 and an FBAR.
Yes, you still have to do the FBAR.
Right. It doesn't get rid of your FBAR at all.
No.
Right. And the IRS, and what's crazy is, the Form 8938 is a completely IRS form. It goes to the IRS. It goes with your tax return. Your FBAR is a FinCEN Form 114, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network form. So it doesn't really go to the IRS. It goes to the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. However, it's administered by the IRS because no one at FinCEN wants to do it. They want to go to big crimes, and they don't want to do the whole administrative thing. So this is really the evolution of all how the horrible things sort of just pile upon each other. And it's just, I think, when you look at the annoyance factor is that we already have something so annoying. We already have these annoying 5471s, 8858s, 8621s. Why do we need this additional annoying as well? If someone's going to lie on a form, they're going to lie on a form.
Right.
This doesn't really help. All it does is actually reduce compliance because it just makes the burden too high, and people give up their hands like, this isn't worth it. I'm just going to do nothing.
Yep.
Let them come for me.
Now, we are going to talk in depth about penalties on a different episode, but there are pretty big penalties if you don't report. But the reporting requirements and penalties apply to all U.S. persons. This includes anyone who wasn't even aware that they have U.S. citizenship. For instance, people that are born in the United States are automatically assumed to be citizens, and those born in foreign countries with American parents. So they're not thinking, I'm a U.S. citizen, and they're not reporting.
And I know that your sister did a podcast on somebody who's potentially, my brother was doing a podcast too. The king of Thailand was actually born in the U.S. Mm-hmm. His parents were going to Harvard.
We could make a lot of money off
And
him.
He's probably, unless he renounces U.S. citizenship, he's somebody, hey, buddy, where's your 8938 there?
You ask him for it.
Yeah, you ask him for it. No, I don't know. He's a great person, by the way.
He is wonderful.
Wonderful guy.
All right. Now, it makes us look like jerks. We're forcing foreign countries to share their information with us, but we refuse to share it with them. Mm-hmm. Give us all your information, and then when they ask for ours, we're like, no.
Yeah, this FATCA is part of a intergovernmental agreement to share information. And this is sort of these countries have been duped because Well, guys, guess what? The U.S. is really the only country in the world, effectively the only country in the world, that taxes its persons on their worldwide income. Okay? All of you guys, you have some level of that, but not the same degree. And some people just, it's like wherever it's sourced. Some countries are just wherever it's sourced, that's it. And you make anything anywhere else, we don't care about it. So why is it important? Somebody is a UK citizen and they make money in the US. If it's stock, they don't have to pay taxes to the IRS about it, and they don't have to pay taxes to the UK about it. Mm-hmm. So even if there was information sharing, what good does that do the UK? Here's somebody who made a bunch of things tax-free that you can't tax. Here's the information, but they're not even giving the information.
Sucker.
And then it's one of the criticisms is the number one tax shelter in the world is the United States, long as you're a non-US person, because this is the place. I walk down the street to my to a bank here. If I ask them like, so you guys, how's your FATCA compliance?
What?
You mean fact?
So this law actually affects non-U.S. residents, non-U.S. persons, people who have no accounts with U.S. persons. They have no U.S. anything because there's something called the FATCA IGA. That's part of the law. And when they go to a bank account, so they're in a foreign country, they want to open a bank account with a foreign financial institution. Okay. And they must self-certify their status. If they don't, they can't open a bank account. So they have to say, I'm a non-U.S. person, I'm a non-U.S. citizen, I have no U.S. connect. And if you don't, you can't open a bank account? Like, we're such a-holes.
It's so bad. It's just so bad. It's just talk about the ugly American. This is it.
Yeah.
This is the ugly American just being a loudmouth, drunk, reckless. The FATCA compliance costs, there's some estimates of 200 billion.
Yeah.
There's yearly costs.
I saw an estimate of 150 million on top of that.
Oh, I would say more than that for yearly. Oh my God. Oh, no. Much more than that. Yearly, maybe for a country, so a big country, but it's going to be, your yearly costs have got to be somewhere, I would say 20 billion a year to do all of this. And this is also the issue is that this data needs to be parsed, and that means it needs to get out there. Okay, well, when it's out there, there's a risk. So you better make sure that you have some sort of system that reduces the amount of risk of a data breach. You could have a data breach. You could imagine somebody who is not a U.S. person. He has a bank account. He's a Singapore resident. He doesn't want people to know he has all this money, right?
Yep.
Then there's a data breach because FATCA compliance, and now all these people are like, oh, that guy has money? Oh, yeah, let's sue him.
Great.
Right. And exactly, it's a complete breach of privacy that the regulation implies.
Yep. It's just annoying.
It's annoying. It's terrible.
So we're going to be talking more about the craziness that is FATCA. I feel like now that we got why it's annoying out of the way, we can, now I've got this out of my system,
right.
We can talk more about the penalties, about how to fill out forms, all the important stuff you need to know. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're going to have a lot more information about FATCA. You can like and comment below, and thanks for watching. IRSMedic, the law offices of Parent & Parent, LLP. Real tax attorneys for tough tax problems.